Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today obviously I'm gonna have to talk a little bit louder just because I don't have any microphones on. Let's just go through my physical TBR today because there is a ton that I still need to read from it. We're just gonna start with the books on here and then go to the shelves over here just because I feel like it makes more sense. So some of these books are on my TBR for July. It's literally about to be August, like in 2 days, so I'm probably not gonna get to the books on my TBR. We have Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the second book in the Powerless series. If you don't know what it is, go look it up. It's a very hyped up book, so I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys know what this book is about. Then we have There Is No Evil. This is the second book in the There Are No Saints duet. That's self-explanatory. This is like a serial killer romance. Definitely want to get to that. Then we have The Assassin Blade. I have read the first 2 novellas in here. I just need to read the last 2 in this book to be complete. So the goal is to read the whole Throne of Glass series this year. That is the goal. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but we'll try to sometime. Then I got the first book in this series called The Natural. I don't know, this is like a murder, not a murder, like a mystery, and a lot of people compare this to Criminal Minds. One thing about me is that I love Criminal Minds. As soon as I heard people comparing it to this, I was just like, yep, nope, I'm all for it. I need to read it like, ASAP. So I picked up the first book just because I didn't want to get the whole series and then me not like the first book because it is YA. I do really enjoy YA, but you never know. Also, I want to put out there that a lot of these books in here, I really don't know what they're about. I'm the type of person that just goes into the book blind, so I'll read some of the back of these so that you guys can know. Next, I have Taming 7. I feel like I don't even have to say much about this because it's self-explanatory. This is part of the Binding 13, that whole series, and this is following Gypsy and Claire, which are probably one of my favorite couples in the series as well, so I'm so excited to read this. Next, I had this on my TBR a couple months ago, and then I just never got to it because life got ahead of me, but this is like Fate Inked in Blood, and it sounds so good, but I feel like whenever I read fantasy, I have to be in a fantasy mood, and this is more fantasy. I'm hoping soon I'm going to be in a fantasy mood and I can read this because it's probably one of my top books that I do want to read here soon. Some of these books you're going to notice are very, like, they were very hyped up books on TikTok before, and I just recently got them when my husband was gone. So I got The Word by A. Jade. I kept seeing this all over Bookstagram, just like literally all over the place. I honestly have no clue what it is. I think it's like a rock star romance. I could be totally wrong. We're gonna see. I'm gonna read the back to you guys. From a USA Today and Wall Street Journal, best-selling author Ashley Jade comes in Edge, Enemies to Lovers, standalone romance about mistakes, forgiveness, and second chances. He was the talented bad boy everybody wanted. I was the irrelevant geek everyone hated. He was the sun drawing all of us in. I was the black hole taking up space. He was destined to be a star. I was destined to remain an insignificant no one until he made me believe I was special. And then he destroyed me. I never thought I'd see Phoenix Walker again after he broke my heart. But fate had other plans. 1 tour, 8 weeks, 40 shows, countless opportunities to make him pay. The world thought he was a god, but I know the truth. I am still like, I know this book was super hyped up and I am dying to read it, but look at this. It's a big boy. Right here, I'll tell you how many pages because we always need to know that, right? When it's big like this. 666 pages. This better give me all the angst, all the enemies, the lover vibes that go into it. I definitely want to pick this up soon. Then the next couple books are by KV Rose, but I have Ecstasy. I really have no clue what this one's about, but I heard so many people, what is going on? I've heard so many people talking about this book, and I'm really trying not to look at my laptop that's like acting as my monitor right now down below. I heard really good things about it. I'm gonna read it because, like I said, I heard really amazing things about it. So it says Zara, Eli, and Alex, 3 students at Cabin U who are really fucking tired of life. Zara has a substance problem. Eli is a star athlete with a secret, and Alex, he's just a fucking asshole. There's paths collide one night at a party that quickly spirals out of control. A series of volatile moments follow, enveloping the 3 of them, a whirlwind of drama, drugs, and destruction. Zara feels like she's slipping under, losing her grip on reality, and if she isn't careful, one of the boys just might pull her all the way down. But the thing about almost dying at the hands of someone you hate, in the moment before you take your last breath, the fear can feel a lot like ecstasy, and that's a high you can only get once in a lifetime. Wow, this sounds dark. Like it might touch a couple strings. In another world, you know, wishful thinking, I would try to get to all these books this year, but obviously that's just not gonna happen. I know that, but these are all the books that I do eventually want to get to sometime in the next year or two. These two books kind of like go hand in hand. I think a lot of people, this one came out first, so I know a lot of people read this first, but following some characters from in here as well. And there's a part 2 of this book, but this is a big book, and I have no clue what this one is about, but it says is it Omnius? I think Darkness Comes Without a Sound. This is book 1. There is book 2, and this is following Eli and Eden, and Eli is from Ecstasy. I don't know. I might have to just read them back to back. Okay, then I talked about this in one of my latest videos. This is the Unsainted series. So I started this book. I'm literally like halfway, almost like, yeah, I'm literally halfway through through this bad boy, and then I ended up putting it down because I got nervous. You guys probably know why, because inside in the dark romance video I explained why and how everything is kind of going about in this series. So I definitely do want to get to this. Actually, I might just like put this on my TBR for next month, but this is The Cruelest Scar. This is following Maverick and Ella. I say the series is very dark. And then I have Boys of Ruin, and this one is mostly following kind of like all of the characters, all the main guys in it. Jeremiah, Sid, Lucifer, Maverick is mentioned in there, so he may have a POV. I think this is really following Jeremiah, Lucifer, and Sid. And this series is just one of a kind series, and I do really enjoy it, but it just really tugs at my emotions a lot, because just a lot of how they're thinking, how they're feeling, not that I get, but like it just tugs at it really, really hard at my emotions. Then I have Hook by Emily McAteer. I feel like a lot of people know what this series is about. I think this is a retelling of Peter Pan, I believe. I'm not gonna read the back because, like I said, I feel like a lot of people know what this series is about, but I do eventually want to get to it. I heard amazing things about this whole series. Then I recently, maybe like a month or two ago, I read a book by Christine Callahan, and this is Dear Enemy. Not sure what this one's about, but it says he was the last person she'd ever fall for, and it says as kids they hated each other. Mackin Saint was beautiful, but despite his name, Delilah knew he was the devil, that he dated her slightly evil sister Samantha was no picnic either. When they broke up, it was a dream come true. Delilah never had to see him again. 10 years later, her old enemy sends a text. Sounds good. But I do want to get that author another try, just because when I did read the other book by her, it wasn't my favorite. I will say that. It was not my favorite. You guys might hear Kid YouTube in the background, just because I do have him on the iPad while I do this. Next, I got this by Valentine PR, and this one, Velvet Cruelty by Eva Dangerfield. This is a reverse harem, and I think it's a retelling of like Snow White in a way. So that really interests me, so I can't wait to read this. Okay guys, I am back again. My son is in the room, so you guys might hear him. Raising man. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do this quick, but there's quite a few books. I got this a while ago. I was lucky enough that Gianna sent to me. I have her sweet notes still in here, and they're signed by the author, so that's really sweet of her. So this is Chasing Ivy by S.J. Silvis, and this one is just a small town romance. Just by the cover of it, you can just tell that like it's giving small town. Then I have A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, and this is just a dark romance. It says, let me worship you, he said. His request felt sinful and devious. She reveled in it. She answered yes. So this is personification and hate, so this is just like a retelling, I'm guessing, and we love a good retelling. Then I got this one. Wow, I can't even remember when I got this book, but I got it a long time ago, and I got it just because it says Redemption Prep, and we all know that I love prep books. I literally just specifically said that in one of my, I think in my dark romance recommendation video. And this is YA, and I'm just gonna read the back of it because it sounds really intriguing. I don't know if there's gonna be a next book that comes out with it. I mean, I'm guessing, not really sure, but I'll read the back to you guys. It says, everyone knows Emma. Nisha's her best friend, Aiden's her basketball star boyfriend, and Evan's her shadow. Following Emma's every move, Emma stands out, which is hard to do at Redemption Prep, a school where every student has been handpicked to attend its remote campus on the forest of Utah. Though when she goes missing, everyone notices, and everyone becomes a suspect, especially at a school with so many strict rules. Emma's disappearance ignites an investigation, and Nisha, Aiden, and Evan all want to find her for different reasons, but they each have their own secrets to hide, and not everyone wants Emma to be found. As the research continues, the students start to realize that they're not the only ones trying to hide something. Redemption prep has secrets. 2 secrets bigger than any of the students could have imagined, and Emma could be the key to finding out the truth if anyone can find her. Tell me that doesn't sound really good. It sounds really good, and I'm all about YA books and things like that, so I don't judge over here. I'll read anything. Then we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I have not read any of Emily Henry's books. I got this like forever ago, so I'm excited to read this one. No clue what's it about, but I know a lot of you guys have read Emily Henry. I'm excited. Then we have The American's Roommate Experience. I started this, guys, and then I stopped. I just was not in the mood for it. It was just very slow paced for me. Don't know if it's just the writer's writing or if it's just the plot of the book. I'm not really sure, but I was like, you know what, I'll keep it, and then maybe whenever I am in the mood for it, I'll read it. I really didn't get anywhere with it. Then we have The Royals Next Door. Not really sure what this is about. It looked pretty and intriguing, and I was like, yeah, nope, I want to read it. And it's kind of giving me summer vibes. I should probably just put this on one of my TBRs for this month. Well, for August, before the summer is up. The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if I have read a book by Brittany Cherry, and I cannot think of it off my top of my, like, if I have read by this author. I do have, I think, another one by her somewhere on here, but I do want to read the back of these books because they sound like they're gonna break my heart and then put it back together, then probably I'm gonna be sobbing. We'll see. This is a mixtape. Obviously, as you guys can see, 2 songs, same melody. Emery, is it Emery? Yeah, I think so. Has never felt more alone. Raising her daughter is both her pleasure and her pain as she struggles to hold on to her job as a bartender and keep a roof over their heads. With no one to help them, no support system, any unexpected expense or late bill could turn their whole world upside down. Reeling from the death of his own twin brother and bandmate, rock star Oliver Smith is trying to drink his problems away. Apparently, he isn't very good at it. They follow him wherever he goes. Also in hot pursuit are the paparazzis who catch Oliver at his lowest low. He could have walked into any bar in California, but he walked into hers. Emery helps Oliver lose the crowd, and they find themselves alone. 2 people whose pasts are marked with loss and pain. However, they hold an unshakable hope for healing. They find solace together, but can their love withstand the world? It just sounds so good. It just sounds so good, and it sounds like I might cry in it. That one sounded really good and like one that I want to read soon. Obviously, all these books I want to read eventually, but like it's up there. It's up there in my stacks. Then we have Dirty Letter by V. Keelan and Penelope Ward. Wow, I think I had this for like about 4 years now, and I'm like, I just need to read it. I read the other 2 books that I had from her on my bookshelf, and they're either hits or miss. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this one, so we'll see. We'll see. The last one I read by them, I gave 2 stars. How? Like, how did they even think any of what they wrote in there was okay? Like, here we are, 30 letters. So hopefully it's better than the last one. Got this one not too long ago, but Runaways Groommen by Megan Quinn. She's probably one of my favorite authors. She is one of my favorite authors, and her books are just hilarious. Like, every time I read one of her books, I die laughing, and they end up a new, like, 5-star. Okay, guys, so the angle changed, and I am sorry about that. It's because my phone died, and I need to plug it in while I was recording. He runs from the altar, finds love in the place he least expects. The screenwriter Walsh knows a good love story when he sees it. But when it comes to real-life romance, he's a mess. That's how he finds himself standing at the altar as his ex-girlfriend ties a knot with his very famous best friend. The pressure, the resentment, the media coverage, it's all too much. And before he knows exactly what he's doing, he's making a run for it, leaving a shocked congregation of flashing cameras in his wake. Well, that sounds embarrassing. Needing to lie low amid the media fallout, Sawyer lands in the charming town of Canoodle, California, where he crosses paths with Fallon Long, who runs the Canoodle Cove Cabins, a family-owned business in Sawyer's new short-term residence. Armed with renovations and her long list of responsibilities, Fallon is struggling to make ends meet while attempting to bring the cabins back to their original glory. So when Sawyer arrives, she is grateful for the income, but immediately writes him off as just another vapid Hollywood hack until he begins to prove her wrong at every turn. As Fallon comes closer to saving family business, an unpredictable bond forms between her and the handsome screenwriter. But the pressure of her family obligation and Sawyer's notoriety might prove to be too much for anyone to handle. Could Canoodle be the setting for a new romance, or is true love just a Hollywood cliche? That sounds really, really good. Okay, then I have Fall Out Boys, which I haven't read because I don't know if I need to read the rest of the books in the Bully series before going into this one, because I believe in the Bully series this book is following like their kids. So I've been dying to read it, but I haven't picked it up because I don't know if I need to finish that series before going into this one or what. So I don't know. I want to read it soon though. And then we have Neon Gods, which I heard amazing things. This is another retelling of Stephanie and Hades. So we have this one where Robert's hot ice got this, I think maybe a year or two ago for my birthday, and I tried to pick it up to read it and I just couldn't get into it. But it was like when I was going through a book slump, so that's why I didn't take it off my shelf, because I thought like it looks like a quick read and I might like enjoy it if I actually give it the chance. If I actually give it the chance to, you know, a chance, I might enjoy it. So we'll see. This is also like dated like back in time, like not that back in time, but like it's pretty back there if I'm not mistaken, like 1990 something I think, or it could be later. Then I have this book on my shelf forever, guys. But one thing about me is that I love my romance books, and I will always pick up a romance book before I pick up anything other. And you'll see like when I go through like my book of the month books that I have here is that like I try to get a lot of true crime or like murder mystery vibes, because I do enjoy watching that kind of stuff. I just don't ever really read them. And when I do read them, I have to really be in the mood to read them. But this is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, and I will say that I feel like a lot of people have already read this one, and all I really have to say is that like I'm excited and I can't wait to read it. There's a lot of things that happen in this that like people were not expecting. I'm all for that. Next, I have like a couple Tilly Cole books. Tilly Cole is probably one of my favorite authors up there as well. These are part of the same series, just following different characters, and in this series we are following the Fallen Angels, and obviously this one's Raphael. Don't even ask me to say this name because I will butcher it, but I'm gonna read the back of Raphael so you guys can know what it's about. They are the Fallen, a brotherhood for murderers who nature compels them to kill, but guided by their leader Gabriel, the Fallens have learned to use their urges to rid the world of those it is better off without. For Raphael, sex and death are intertwined. Where there is one, there must be the other. He is a lust killer, luring his victims with the face of an angel and a body built for sin, and Raphael lives to sin. His newest mission takes him into the sadistic underworld of the Boston secret sex club and puts him face to face with his greatest fantasy made flesh. Maria is everything he's ever dreamed of, the kill he's always longed for. She's not his target, and he knows he must resist, but the temptation is too strong. Yet, Raphael is not the only one with the mission. Maria is not quite what she seems. And as her secrets and Raphael's unravel, Maria begins to question everything she thought she knew. About evil, about the place she calls home, and about the beautiful sinner she was sent to destroy. Just sounds good. And all of them have different things like that. This is a very dark series. Here's another book by Brittany Cherry, The Coldest Winter, and I'm pretty sure this one's really sad as well. But it says, I didn't know he was forbidden until after our one-night stand. I met Milo Corti during his self-destructive era, and he met me at the beginning of mine. That night, when we crossed paths at the college party, we only had one goal, to feel good during our hellstorm. After we parted ways, I planned never to see him again. That was until I showed up for the first day as a student teacher and found him sitting right there before me. Now I was forced to cross paths with the person meant to be nothing more than a faded memory. The more time we spent together, the more drawn I felt towards him. When his world shifted for the worse, I couldn't help but to lean in closer. I'd always done the right thing. For the first time ever, I wanted to do something very wrong. I wanted to fall in love with the one person who was off limits. Oh, the problem with falling for something forbidden, once you begin to descend, you are destined to crash and burn. Man, girl, I love a good student professor romance, so this sounds good. Then I had this on my shelf for like ever. This is Love and Other Words by Christina and Lauren. We all know that I love them as authors. I have read 2 of their other books and I really enjoyed it, and I laughed, and I just really love their writing and how they make me feel. I'm not sure what this one's about, but I know this has been all over the place as well, so I eventually do want to get to this. This is another by Tilly Cole, so I'm going to just bring out the whole series. This is a complete series right here. This is 2 in 1, and these are 2 other ones. So the 2 in 1 is Raise and Reap, and I read I think Raise in here. And then we have Ravage, and then we have Riot. I read it so long ago, like when I first started reading again. We'll read Raise's back of his. It says, brutal danger, intense passion, experience the intoxicating world of the Scarred Soul series. This is a series that like blew me away, to be quite honest. Just how it all comes to be, and just like this world that she's built, and I just loved it. It says, conditioned in captivity to become a dangerous weapon, prisoner 818 is an unstoppable fighter in the ring. Violence is all he knows. After years of incarceration in an underground hell, he has only one thought: get revenge on the man who wronged him. Kisa Volkov is the only daughter of the head of the infamous Red bosses of New York City's Russian bravado. Her father's savage treatment of his rivals and his lucrative underground gambling ring, the dungeon ensures that nowhere is safe, even as she dreams of a life away from her virtual prison. One evening, Kisa stumbles upon a tattooed, scarred, but stunningly beautiful homeless man on the street. Something about him stirs feelings deep within her familiar yet impossible forbidden desires. A mysterious silent man, Kisa yearns for him, craves his touch. This man they call Ray's. So good. And then all the other books are about different prisoners that we get to meet. So I'm excited to literally finish this series out, because what I read in this one, like the first book in Ray's, was just captivating and like full of drama and obviously mafia. Who doesn't love a good mafia romance? And then we have Travis, which I have this is about. I don't know if this is the brother.
I don't totally know if this is the brother to shoot, what's it called? I cannot think of it. What is it called? It's been bothering me now because I can't think of what it's called.
But it says sometimes you have to lose it all to find exactly what you need. And when I picked this up, I really like the cover. So I was like, yeah, no, we're gonna go. If you guys don't know, blue is probably one of my favorite colors. And that is a rose. Look how beautiful. Then we have Ice Planet Barbarian. It still has I got this like maybe 2 years ago. I haven't read it, but I got this when it was like literally hyped, like so hyped up. And I was like, oh, I want to read some aliens, about some aliens doing some who knows what, and I want to read about blue aliens. So that's why I got this, and I still haven't read it. So that just tells you something. The next books here are just like some of my book of the month books. So let's just go through them. This is a true crime murder mystery, The Only Survivor by Megan Miranda. Like I said, I got a lot of books like this, like murder mystery or true crime, because I do love watching YouTube videos on it, listening to podcasts about it, but I don't ever read them because I have to be in the mood to read. So of course I got this one, no clue what it's about, but The Only Survivor sounds really good and sounds like something that I would enjoy reading. Then I got She Started It. Says any other scenario and I'd be barreling forward, wrapping whoever it was in the embrace whether they liked it or not, because I'm just that kind of person. But this isn't any other scenario. It's Poppy Greener, and not the Poppy Greener we knew either. A new, confident, attractive Poppy that sets my entire body on edge. Hello everyone, she says. Even her voice has changed. Before, she's always had this slight tremble, a giveaway of how nervous she was. Now it's deep. Okay guys, we're slowly making progress, okay? I have to stop a couple times, delete things off my phone and things like that. You guys are probably gonna hear my crazy kids out there, but let's just bear with it. So I really don't know much about what this book was. It just intrigued me, and there's the beach and it looks like paradise in the background, so sounded good. Then I have the collection. I'm pretty sure this is a true crime based on a true story, if I'm not mistaken, and just by the cover it intrigued me. The collection, I'm guessing it's about a serial killer, so we'll see what that's about. Then I have One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Obviously I read, oh my god, what is it called? Oh, Red, White, and Royal Blue. So I wanted to give this a try. Don't read a lot of LGBTQ books, so of course I want to get to this sometime. Head Over Heels, I just sounded good. It's a romance. I'm pretty sure she's a gymnast and he is something, and yeah, I'm not really sure, but it looked cute. It looks like a cutie romance, so I got it. If you've read it, just let me know down below. And these are books that I do want to get to like this year, like as soon as I can, is Before I Let Go. I haven't picked this up just because I feel like books that deal with like trouble in marriage or things like that, I feel like, obviously me being married, I feel like I can understand where they're coming from, and I think they hurt a little bit more just because I do understand. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is that this book is about a marriage that's in trouble, and that's literally all I know. But I'm dying to read it because, yeah, but I don't want to cry and I might get emotional. Then I have Daisy Joan and the Six, which I know, guys, I know this book has been out, I think, for a really long time, and then the show has came out, and I haven't watched the show yet because I want to read the book, and I know this book is so many people's is like a lot of people's favorites. I need to read it soon. Then I have Atlas 6, Started It, pretty sure, yeah, Started It. And then I was just like, wow, I'm gonna need to really think and like use my brain for this book. So I stopped and I was like, this is not the right time. This isn't just like a fun book to read. This is a book where I literally need to pay attention to every little thing and all the details to understand what's going on in it. So I stopped it, but I can't wait to get back to reading it. It's like a secret society. It says secrets, material, seduction, power. Welcome to the Alexandria Society. And we all know I love a good secret society or something like that, and magic and all this. This is a beautiful world, and I really want to enjoy it and put my time and effort into reading it and understanding what I'm reading instead of just reading it and being like, what did I just read, you know? So that's why I haven't picked it back up again. Then we have Maestro by Alden Zadar. This is a very angsty story, and as soon as they said that, I was like, okay, I'm all for it. So it says, for some time, first love is a fleeting spark, hurtling the greater love to come. For others, first love is the greatest love, the only love. When a music edition at the world-renewed LaGuardia Arts High School brings together two 13-year-olds, unassuming Aurora Ramirez Preston and a conflicted Chadwick David, the serendipitous encounter becomes an unbreakable friendship. A friendship develops into an unyielding love, a love spanning decades and continents. This book is gonna destroy me. Decades and continents. Okay. With New York City as their playground, best friends Chad and Aurora navigate the turbulence and adolescence. They blossom, and so does their love. An awkward first date turns into a night of an intoxicating kissing and togethering. They lose their innocence. Years later, Chad is Maestro, the tattooed atrocious, the James Dean of classical music, and Aurora is an accomplished celloist, his muse, the enduring love behind greatness. But when the Maestro falters, even for a moment, the most beautiful symphony can sprout into an unrelenting chaos, and the greatest of love can become the most tragic heartbreak. Maestro is a symphony of words, or movements, filled with longing, secrets, betrayal, and a grace of forgiveness. Just break my heart and throw it in the trash and then put it back together and then break it again and then put it back together. I kicked him out. He's about to get mad. So here I have The Sacrifice and The Sinner. You guys heard me talk about the ritual on my YouTube channel before. I'm just not going to say anything. This is just following other boys in that secret society. We love a good secret society, and these are like huge big boys, so I haven't read them yet, but I'm dying to read it, and I'm kind of nervous because I absolutely loved The Ritual. I can't remember which one goes. I think it's The Sacrifice and then The Sinner. I don't know, but I don't know if there's a particular order that you need to read them in. I can't wait. I just can't wait to get back into this world because it's unique and I love it. And just on here it just says, his lady, I vow, you vow, we vow. The little demon, I vow, you vow, we vow. I vow my whole self to all you guys. Then we have People Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Like I said, I haven't read. Should probably read this actually in August, which I'm going to just put in that pile because I mean, all the summer vibes. I think this is like, all I know is that it's a friends to lovers, and that's basically it. That's all I know. And sorry, I keep looking down at my computer, but that's literally all I know. Okay, then I have another Lisa Dwell book, and this is None of This Is True. Pretty sure it's probably like a mystery, true crime. Let's see. When a famous podcaster interviews a stranger promising to divulge the story of a lifetime, secrets emerge that threaten to expose the truth of the lives they're both worked and to project and protect. Sounds good. Don't know when I'll get to that. And then I also have The Sound of Stars by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. I mean her name in just general. I can't do it, but you guys see how beautiful the cover is? It's beautiful. Can their love of books and pop music save the world? I just seen it. It was intriguing. Like this, as the idea of bringing stories to those in need outweighs my fear. Makes me a rebel. If I die for it, there are worse things to die for. And in my heart, I know I'm doing the right thing. Janelle Baker, Secret Librarian. This one looked really good. I seen it on the month, Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hiller. And it just sounds really good. It's like a murder mystery, and I think it has something to do with her husband. Not really sure. The cover just intrigued me. It's beautiful. It's everything and more, and I want to read it. The X-Hex, I think this October I'm actually going to officially read it because it needs to just be read in October with all the witchy vibes and things like that. We have Sterling House, and it's a beautiful cover. I think I got it because it has to do with like magic and things along that line. I believe that she's an orphan and this house is kind of like speaking to her. I have Fable, and this is by R.F. Cohn. And this is one of those books where I feel like it's going to take a lot of like my mental capacity too. So it's kind of like in the same realm with Atlas 6, where I'm really going to have to focus solely on this book and like read this book. And not just read, but like, you know, put all my mental space into this book so that I don't lose anything or I don't get lost. So that's why I haven't read it yet. And then we have Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. and been dying to read it, just haven't read it. Don't know why, but I'm hoping this year is the time because I looked everywhere for this book and then I finally found it at Target for like a decent price, 30% off. So here we are. So I want to read it here soon. And then we have The Firekeeper Daughter, and it's a beautiful cover. Got it on obviously Book of the Month, and I just haven't read it yet. Like I said, for fantasy I have to be in a fantasy mood to want to read it. Then these two I have been dying to read, just haven't been in the mood to read fantasy yet, but I do want to read these two soon. Legendborn and Bloodborne. I heard this series is amazing. Get to it sometime soon. Then I have all these Lucy Score books. So I have Things We Hide from the Light. This is from the Knock 'Em Out series. This is Following the Brother. Things We Left Behind. The Best Friend, Pretend You're Not Mine. Not sure what it's about, but I'm pretty sure it's Lucy Score, so it's gonna be good. And then Rock Bottoms, not sure what this one's about, but we're gonna read it because it's Lucy Score. Then I also got this one from Valentine PR, which is a sports romance, 3 Strikes and You're Mine. So we love a good classic, good sports romance. I believe this is a baseball. Then I have the last 3 books in the Shatter Me series, Ignite Me, Defy Me, and Restore Me, that I cannot wait to get to. Then I have A Song of Achilles that I just haven't read because I heard how emotional this book is, and I just haven't been in the capacity to read something this emotional and beautifully written. Then I have Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins, and not really sure what this is about, but obviously with it's probably going to be sad, so I haven't read it yet. Then I have this one, Rootless by Crystal Zara. I can't pronounce her last name, but it's a beautiful cover. It intrigued me. A provocative debut novel about a marriage in crisis that asks, can you ever be rooted in a home that's on the brink of collapsing? Like I said, emotional marriage things, anything like that. I feel like with me being married, I can understand like situations like that, and they kind of just not hit home, but like I understand it, and it kind of makes my heart hurt a little bit because I believe I'm a hopeless romantic. Then we have the books over here. We'll start with this one over here. So I have The Realm Breaker and The Blade Breaker, and this is by Victoria Aveyard. I got this series. I don't really know what it's about. It's a fantasy series, obviously, but I love the Red Queen series, so I was like, oh my god, I have to try these books by her. Then I have Half a Stick of Shadows. Need to get to. No clue what it's about either. An Ember in the Ash. Need to get to this. I heard this series amazing. Want to get to this soon. Then I have, as you guys can see here, I have the Mortal Instrument books. I read book 1, so I have book 2 to 6 to read that I need to get to sometime soon. Here I have The Cousins by Karen M. McGemis. Says families keep the best secrets from each other. Sound really good. Then I have the next 2 books in the Caravel series, so Legendary and Finale, that I need to get to. I have Bone Criers, which honestly I need to get to this soon. I had it for like ever. I've been dying to read it, but just have not read it yet. Then I have 2 books in the Raven Boy series by Maggie Stiefvater. Is that how you say that? Probably not. And then The Dream Thieves. No clue what these are about, but the covers intrigued me, so I got them. Then I have these 2, which I read the first book in this series. Where is that? Oh. Huh. I don't even know where it's at, actually. Huh. That's weird. Oh, it's right here. Illuminate. But these are very interesting. I have these on audio, so I'll probably end up listening to audio and following along with it, just because how they're like, it's literally just all documents in it, and I found that very intriguing and very easy to read, but the audio just enhances the experience. Then down here we have J.R. Ward, The Black Dagger Brotherhood. So I want to read these in October just because it involves vampires, werewolves, supernatural things like that. I also have Blood Truths and The Savage. Then I have Aurora Rising and Aurora Burning. Not really sure what these are about, but obviously fantasy because they're on my fantasy shelf. Then I have Dance of Thieves, which I really want to get to. Actually, I'm going to put this on my TBR for August. Heard amazing things about it, so want to get to that. Serpent and Dove. Hopefully I get to this soon. Hasn't really caught my attention yet. Let me see. The Queen's Assassin by Melissa Dela Cruz. Sounds really good. Just haven't read it. To Kill a Kingdom. This one sounds really intrigued. I got this actually as a gift. Oh, this has been on my TBR for so long. Let me know how you enjoy it. Love. So happy to have met you, from Lou. Our Finest Hour by Jennifer Millikins. The Kings of Quarantine series. But guys, those are all the books on my physical TBR. And there's a ton. So let's hope that we can at least knock half of them out by the end of this year. Fingers crossed. I get stuck on Kindle Unlimited a lot, and that's where I do most of my reading, to be quite honest, because there's just so many books out there that I want to read that Kindle Unlimited literally just has all of them. So that's where I mostly do all my reading and find new books to read when I have all these books that I need to read. So I need to stop doing that. So those are all the books on my physical TBR that I eventually want to get to. Fingers crossed that we do. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!